I'm Rod Foster. I was with the group as well. I was in the lead car, which were the ones that sort of paved the way to have this all start and everything. But is what I remember is that we were traveling down the road at, probably 40 or 50 miles per hour, and for some reason, out of the corner of my eye, I saw some Haitian folks along the side of the road, and they were waving down. They were going something similar to this, and I thought that they were just waving to us, or, it's hard to tell what it is that they were trying to tell us, but in retrospect, is what they were doing is telling us that there was danger ahead, and we didn't recognize it, or I didn't notify anyone about that I saw what I saw. So we drove right up to where the barricade was at. There was a mattress that was on fire. They had the entire road barricaded with steel barricades and different things like that, so there isn't any way that we could have driven through it or anything without having some of it cleared first. But as soon as we slowed down and stopped, there was a gang. I mean, I don't know how many. I'm going to estimate that there was probably about 30 men that had rifles, had submachine guns, had AKs, had pistols, all sorts of different materials as far as to shoot and that type of thing. And they were beating at our windows and doors and trying to get in and all that kind of stuff. And Pastor Etienne opened his window. He tried to talk with them, letting them know what we were about, what we were doing, why we were doing it, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just like in my viewpoint, it was a mob scene where there was just so much yelling going on, so many angry people that I could see. And so they unlocked Pastor's door, which he was in the driver's side door, and they pulled him out of the vehicle. And he was again continuously talking to these people, trying to assure them what we were doing. In the same time that the rest of the mob were climbing on top of the vehicle, they were unfastening the suitcases that were on top of the vehicle. It was just a real mob scene. I mean, there was a guy that put his head through the driver's door, and he was grabbing for everyone's cell phones and different things like that, and he actually grabbed for mine. He took it, but for some reason I grabbed it right back from him and was able to go ahead and retain it. But then it was a situation where Jackie was right next to me in the back seat, and they were yelling to have Jackie remove herself from the back seat of the car. And Jackie kept holding down the lock button so that her door would not open, which the rest of us were making sure that our locked doors were locked as well. And it was just a matter of where Jackie asked Pastor whether she should get out, and she went ahead. Pastor said to go ahead and follow their instructions, which she did. But then for some reason, just as the mob scene was terrible, that for some reason it just turned right away to a positive thing. I mean, they asked for money. I pulled out $200 that I had in my pocket, and we gave it to them. And maybe that's what their whole issue was, is just to get the money or whatever, but it's a matter of where we gave it to them, and they just stopped. They let Jackie get back into the car. Pastor showed up. I was afraid. I didn't know where Pastor was at because the mob had sort of taken him into the center of the crowd and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't able to see him. And we were just all trying to stay calm and do what we were told and that thing. And then all of a sudden, I believe that it was just one individual that was telling everyone else to get away from the car, told them to go ahead and allow our car to they would remove the barricade, one of the barricades, so that we could make a U-turn through this barricade, and that's when we were allowed to go ahead and go up to the second vehicle. And when we got to the second vehicle, obviously we saw that Doug was shot, that we did everything that we could to get him into the back seat of our car that was actually functioning. We got him into the back seat, and there was myself. Doug was sitting in the back, or laying in the back seat. There was myself, there was Drew, and Jeff. So Jeff was holding on to his legs. Drew was holding on to put compression on his neck where he was bleeding at, and I just prayed. Just prayed. And praise the Lord that it's a matter of where we were able to get him back to St. Mark. You know, the people at the hospital were just so accommodating. They opened the doors. They took Doug in. They started, you know, they dropped everything and started working on him. And from that point, obviously, it's all history that we were able to just, as Drew had described, as far as we got the ambulance over there, we were trying to see what we could do as far as getting an airlift over there, trying to go ahead and figure out how we could get him back to the United States so that he could have the care that he needed and everything. And it ended up where the ambulance came over there 2 or 3 hours later, took him back to Port-au-Prince, where he received very good care from, and now he's back in the States and everything, to where we're just, again, praying that there isn't any repercussions or there is no lasting issues or anything like that. But there's no question that was God. God was in the center of it. You know, God protected us. I mean, it's just, there were so many opportunities, because that mob was they were just wanting to kill someone. You could see it in their eyes. You could hear the evil that was there. But it's like that there was a guardian angel. After this, we saw, after we experienced what was going on, that guardian angel was there and just calmed the mob down, allowed us to turn the vehicles around, allowed us to get back to your car, allowed us to go ahead and get Doug back to the hospital. And I just see so many blessings that happen throughout this entire procedure. And, there's just evilness every place. If you don't have Jesus Christ in your heart, you have evil. Evil is controlling your heart. And it's just sad to see that it got to this point, all that kind of stuff. And but we see that Doug is well, or he's getting better, and he's in the proper hands. And we're just praising God that we can get back and continue his mission work. I mean, God is not stopping just because of something like this happening. We have to continue to use the gifts that God has provided to us, so that we can plant those seeds, so that we can take care of those children, so that we can go ahead and be the hands and feet that Christ wants us to be.